Hello everyone, this is Pico Entertainment and we are back again. And we're going to change track now, and I've been mentioning over the last couple of videos that I'm into my anime and my animation and my comic book characters, etc. And over the years I've developed a skill set to be able to draw certain characters, and I studied art way back in college, and I was kind of in and out of it after I finished college. I began trying to practice the more realistic, traditional drawing, and then over the years when I got more involved in the comic book characters and anime, I kind of favoured more that kind of style, that kind of more fluid, dynamic style on here. So over the years I've kind of kept at it and then drifted in and out, but in general, whilst I'm not a professional, so before you start harshly judging my work, I'm not in any way a professional or a comic book artist or a traditional artist at all. I've never been paid for any of the work that I've done at all on here, but I've got enough of a basic skill set to be able to kind of draw any character, whether it's from Marvel, DC, Image Comics, or whatever independent comic or manga or whatever animation. I've got enough ability to draw any kind of one-shot characters. At a push, I probably could start doing comic book panels, but I thought to begin with, I'm just going to start kind of showcasing what I can do with YouTube. So these are going to be singular shots on here, nothing too dramatic, nothing too expansive to begin with, as I get used to not only drawing these characters, but also in the filming and in editing, because I actually find that was the biggest challenge, filming and editing and doing all the quick cuts and the thumbnails, etc. You know, that's standard with any video, but now to do it with the drawing, this is something I haven't done before. So I found that actually quite more difficult to get my head around or practice, rather than the actual drawing, because you think the drawing should be the hard part, but for me the drawing's the easy part. So as I get to do more of these videos, I will start to, like I said, to expand more on the drawings and draw more complex poses and different sequences throughout. But I'm just going to stay simplified beforehand, and you can let me know in the comments whether you like my artwork or not, and then we can kind of interact with one each other and discuss different methods and approaches, as particularly if you're an artist yourself on here, okay? So I'm just going to start now with a character called Avar Kriss, who I believe is the female lead from the Star Wars High Republic. If you don't know what that is, that's the kind of recently announced new wave of Star Wars content that was been going to be introduced. I think it's going 300 years in the past, before the events of the current continuity that we're in now. So we've obviously had the Disney Star Wars films concluding with The Rise of Skywalker, and we're currently with The Mandalorian, which takes place before those events, and we've obviously had the prequels and the expanded universe. So I think this is the next big wave of Star Wars content that they're going to introduce. I'm not sure whether these are going to be converted into animation or movies. I'm not sure yet, but I think it's just a series of novels. I think that's the current phase that we're in now, because obviously as well Clone Wars is going to be closing out at the end of this season. So I'm just going to draw the lead character. She's blonde white woman. I think she's got a green lightsaber. They have these kind of traditional, you know, very much like you saw the knights in, if kind of like the King Arthur films or the Crusades, you know, typical kind of beige looking, white looking outfits on here. So I just thought I'd do a simple drawing of that, so just because it's kind of in a recent topic of discussions on here. But like I said, I could draw anything or any character from the past or present that people may want to see me attempt at, right? So what I'm trying to do is showcase what I do, and you can see my approaches, and maybe if you have never drawn before, maybe you could learn from the techniques that I'm using and get yourself into drawing, because I think it's great. It takes a long time and it can be very tedious, especially if you start to do the inking, which takes a long time, and especially if you can try to do the colouring, which takes even longer. Even if you're a professional, even if you have the marker pens, etc., it still takes a lot of time to do. But particularly the drawing side, I think that's the most fun aspect of it. So maybe you can see what I'm doing and you can learn something from it, or maybe not. You know, maybe you can find a better way. Maybe you teach me something, a better way of drawing and creating these animated images on here. So that's what I'm going to start with. So in the beginning of this video, it's just going to be a quick time-lapse video. It's going to be about 8 to 10 minutes long. You're going to see the first 4 to 5 minutes of me penciling. So basically when I just use a standard mechanical pencil here, and I just use a rubber edge to rub things out on here, and I've just got the traditional refill paper here. So just typical A4, nothing fancy, nothing special, no professional tools, because I think even though professional tools can help enhance your artwork, I think in general you just need a pen and a pencil and a bit of paper, and it's really more about developing your own skill as an artist, right? And then as you get better, and hopefully if you can be successful and earn money from it, then you can start using the tools. But you don't really need all the kind of expensive tools. I don't even really say that for the colouring perhaps, but certainly for the inking and the penciling you don't need it. You basically just need a pen and a biro and a bit of paper. That's all you need on there. So the beginning of this video I'm going to start penciling and drawing, and then I'm going to start the inking. The inking is going to be shorter because I don't think you need to show too much more of the inking as opposed to the penciling, because the inking you're just kind of going over again what you've already drawn out with the pencil, and you're kind of just being more selective with your lines and rubbing out the lines that you don't want. So that takes a much longer process. Even though it's not as difficult, it's still more time consuming. And you know, even though I've done a lot of time lapse here, in actual time it's just such a long time. You're just selecting lines and you're making sure you pick the lines more carefully, right? So that's why the time lapse for the inking is going to be a lot shorter than the penciling on here, and then you'll see the end product before. And I will eventually get to do the colouring side of it, but again it's going to take me a while, so I'll do that in a separate video on it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like what I'm doing? Do you like my style, my technique? Do you hate my style and technique? Or you probably find a better way of doing it yourself on here? But like I said, this is just an introduction, okay? This is just a first kind of me attempting to draw and then upload videos of what I'm doing on YouTube on here. And as hopefully the channel grows and hopefully more people start watching, then eventually I'll start to do more and more kind of complex videos or complex characters and different kind of poses, and hopefully if you can learn anything from that, then that'll be fantastic. Okay, so just watch this video now and let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll try and pose more pictures. I've done a few sketches of X-Men characters and Marvel characters. I'll try and put those on my Instagram because I did those before doing all the technique and how do I do it. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll keep providing more of this content as I go. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very soon. you.